So our last counter we're going to cover in this series is the backstep. Let's just put this in perspective. Early, we're trying to prevent them even getting the underhook. We can frame the head, fight the underhook. Brody does get the underhook. I can frame the shoulder, go underneath for the near side underhook, and try to flatten him out. If he gets the underhook and starts to bring me in line with him, then from here I can frame the hip, free my leg, go across the hip. And now we're in a stage where he's actually closed his hip in. Okay, he's too tight with his chest. There's just no way I'm going to be able to push the hip away and free my knee. Okay, I don't know if you can see from that angle, but with his chest so tight, there's no way, I can free my knee, which we're actually going to do, but there's no way I'm going to get that knee out and like straighten my hips away to actually get to the other side. Basically when he's pulled he's got my far hip here, he's pulled his elbow and chest tight. This is no longer a good idea to try and free my knee to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to try and backstep. Right. Our aim at this point is to take our outside, our free leg, to the other side and try and tilt our opponent flat. All right, so two things you need to watch out for when you're doing the backstep. One is that your opponent can't just come up and sweep you. Okay, so if I'm too far forward, he just gets up. Okay, I can take my back potentially, or like drive through and get on top by grabbing my leg. Okay, so I don't want to have my weight too far forward, that's one thing. And I also need to free my knee. Okay, see how my knee is trapped here? If I try and backstep here, I'm really vulnerable to a back take. Okay, so if I step back, it's very hard to get my hips to the other side when they're jammed in by this leg. What I want is to free my knee over the top so that my hips, you can see my hips end up on the far side of Brody's hips. I can now like use my weight to pull him back to the other side. So to free the knee, I can't face Brody. Okay, if I face Brody, it actually locks my knee in quite well. The gap to free is by coming up like this a little bit. Not too far, but like I'm gonna have to turn my hips in the same plane that he's facing. Okay, if I'm trying to face a cross body, I'll probably get stuck with my knee. So at this point, I'm going to face with Brody and bring my knee up just over the top. It doesn't go to the ground, so turn around a bit, sorry. So I don't put my knee on the ground here. Here, he can just bump me forward and get up. I want to kind of like rest my shin over the top and ideally sit onto this top leg with my weight. Okay, this will become very important when we step back so that we don't get countered with a back take. So I'm going to free my knee over the top by facing in line with Brody. If I've come forward a bit, I lift my hips up and I kind of drop them back over the top of this leg. Make sure you do that and sit back on this leg. Okay, I'm just going to show you what could happen if I don't do this. So if I stay here and I try to backstep, can you just put like a crab right hook? So open your knee out and hook my hook. Okay, look, I've stepped back, he's caught a hook on my leg, and if he just pushes me down, he's basically starting to take my back. Okay, because this leg was free to capture my leg. If I come up and I sit back on this leg with my weight heavy, I'm reasonably comfortable this leg's not going to lift up and actually block me. Okay, so from here, early you might use this overhook. This is a good, what does the overhook do? It stops Brody popping out to my back. If both arms are free, he puts his head out the back, I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, so the overhook stops that. Okay, but I don't really want to backstep while maintaining the overhook because I need a post out to the side. So as I'm going to step back, I'm going to let go and put my hand to the mat. Okay, just again, another example. If I keep this, just roll to your back now. I've got no post. So the overhook can be good early while we're freeing our knee and sitting back, but when we actually go to backstep, be ready to let it go and post on the mat. If you post too high, you'll give their head freedom to pop out the back. So when you post, you kind of want to post like with their head being blocked. So as I step back here, see I'm blocking his head with my post, and I can also continue to backstep. So as I backstep, I don't actually usually want to go too wide just yet. There are times when I go really wide, which is a possibility, but it's actually often a better idea to collect this leg. Okay, so see if I bring my leg behind the top leg and collect it with my left leg, I've pinched his leg. So then when I pick up the bottom leg and turn to the other side, I've actually trapped him in. If he wants to escape out of position, try and like hip escape away, Brody. Just my legs, just keep going. My legs pinching like this, they lock him in place while I could be looking to get good upper body control. If you're in no-gi and you're like leg locks, this is a good leg locking position, the saddle, but it can also lead to a good reverse half guard where they're locked in, okay? It's not wrong to step wide, but you're more likely to lose position, okay? So you could have had a good position in reverse half guard where you could pass. If I step wide, I'm a lot looser on the legs. If Brody frames and moves away, it's probably a reset, which is okay. I got out of the underhook, but I might not have turned that into offense myself. So again, Brody gets the underhook. He gets the underhook and he gets around the corner and his chest's tight, okay? So if I can't do the first two moves, I'm gonna usually overhook it first, turn in line with him, start to stand up and free my knee. Make sure once my knee's free that I sit back on top of the top leg, okay? From here, as I start to like drive off my left leg to swing my hips across, so I need to make sure I tilt Brody backwards first. He was up on this elbow. I'm gonna make sure I kind of tilt him back first. And then when I feel he's falling, I post, step back, collect the top leg and pick up the bottom leg to help pull up and turn him to the other side. Okay, so my hips are falling to the far side. I push off the ground with my legs and I land in reverse half guard.